G'day folks, and welcome back to the channel for part number 28 of my piercing Blademaster playthrough with Stabatha. Now, when I left you last time, I kind of implied that this series was over. But I did kind of enjoy this character, and so I figure, why not get it to 100 and maybe do a couple farming episodes. So that's what this video is going to be. We're going to go and do a little bit of farming. Kind of show off what I do when I get to the end of the campaign. And the first thing we're going to go do, yes, you all knew it was coming, I'm going to do a run through Gloomwald. There's a few other things I want to do. Firstly, we are coming up on level 94, so we can look at maybe farming some better monster infrequents. We could also just tunnel vision totems and treasure troves. Which is probably the efficient way of doing it, because if you're doing those, you are getting blueprints. The blueprint drop from totems and especially from treasure troves is considerably better than anything you're going to be doing in Shattered Realm. And quite frankly, at this point in the character's lifespan, I guess, Shattered Realm is basically the last place I want a character to be. And not just because I really don't enjoy it, and I would much rather skip Shattered Realm altogether. But you can't actually do deep enough levels of Shattered Realm to make it worth the time. Basically, totems and treasure troves are going to give you more loot per hour in ultimate difficulty by a long way, until you can get probably somewhere around the mid-20s in Shattered Realm. That hasn't been kind of checked for a little while. No one's done any testing on that. But the old numbers, it was somewhere around the mid-60s. So that puts it somewhere in the mid-20s for the new numbers. So if the best you can do is Shattered Realm like 11, then you're wasting time in there. Come back out, do totems, do treasure troves. Granted, I'm not exactly having a lot of luck with totems and treasure troves here, but, you know, there's going to be one in here. Maybe I'll get this totem. I'd probably be able to see it by now if it was going to be there, so it doesn't look like it, but that's alright. Every time the treasure trove is not in a certain place, it just means the options for it are fewer. So anyway, this is my kind of preferred method. Similar to a way and similar to a method, but it's kind of a combination of both. My preferred method of getting my gear online. Now, I have gone and found a Belgothian build that was made. I can't even remember who it was, I'll be honest. But it's quite old, and no one has really done piercing Blademaster guides or anything like that for quite a while. So I may just have to kind of look at a bunch of other things and just kind of cannibalize bits from everywhere and make a build for this character, because this is probably one of the better characters that I've played recently. Or maybe better is not the right word, maybe just I enjoyed it more. I did have a brief play with the idea of a poison pistol deceiver. But I played that one on the side, and I was really, really not impressed. I can get the damage on it up to about half of the damage of just your regular basic Daggerlon's Purifier. And that's not face-melting damage anyway, so it's kind of... Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'll do that one. Or if I do play a Deceiver on the channel, it's not going to be poison pistols, that's for sure. I leveled it with Dreeg's Evil Eye until basically 57-ish, I think it was, when I finally got the pistols together. And then from there on, I kind of struggled with pistols. So that was one that I was considering for the next character. I did promise the Postate, so we're doing that first. But at the moment, it's looking like maybe Fire Pyromancer. So I'm talking Blackwater Cocktail and Doombolt. And then maybe turn that into a Dark Blaze character, because I do want to do a pistol build. I'm also considering Rutnix, but It's just everyone's done Rutniks, and I don't think I can really add anything to it. It would just be the same thing again with, you know, a slightly different voiceover being done, I guess. So I'm not huge on that idea. Chaos Pistols, I mean, technically you can do it, but the monster infrequent Chaos Pistols are caster items. So that doesn't sound great either. Having said that, the number of monster infrequent pistols in this game is actually kind of low. You've got fire pistols occasionally while you're leveling up. You've got lightning pistols basically don't exist. Poison pistols, one exists here, and there is, I think, one faction pistol, something like that. There's really, really thin on the ground as the pistols. There's a piercing pistol, from the goblins down here, I think it is. I forget where it is, but there's a piercing pistol as well, which I could do. But I've just done a piercing character. Speaking of, this is the run. I'll just go through it quickly. You start here, you run up here, check for the treasure trove in this little corner right here. Then check for a totem, go over here, kill off any heroes you find here and here, run down here. Occasionally you find a hero inside the building. Go inside, run through there. There is occasionally a totem on the left, occasionally a treasure trove on the left, and for the occasions where the treasure trove is not on the left, it's on the right. You come out here. You can have a lot of heroes down here. I think I had one this run, so not great. Come up here, check for the treasure trove here, totem here, treasure trove here, totem here, and we could actually go down here. Now this totem and Avarice will be in here. Share a spawn location, or I guess share a spawn with the previous cave. So let's just play kill all of her friends with Avarice. Actually, she's not getting any kind of healing. Is that a gun? That is a one-handed range physical pistol. There you go. Physical as well as piercing. Alright, we'll pop this. And we can just basically mow through all this stuff. I'm looking for Corrupted. Where is he? I see Frozen and Diseased here. There's almost always a Corrupted in these ancient skeleton ones. Mostly I'm here looking for blueprints. Blade Dancer's handguards could be good. Titan plating is amazing. Absolutely want to pick that up. I mean, literally every blueprint you see, you want to pick up. What are we doing with this? Am I going to use this? No, I don't think I am. So this is kind of my goal when I make a character. When I get to sort of low 90s, maybe even mid 90s, and I've finished the campaign, what I want is for the character to be strong enough that I can do this kind of run. And then I'm just going to do that run, and I'm going to collect gear, I'm going to collect blueprints, and at some point, I will just have the gear for the build, and then I'll swap in one big go. Now, for a character like this, you can probably put bits of the gear on, but every time you make a change to a piece of gear, you're also going to have to make sure your resistances are still balanced, and change your augments, and change your components, and it's just a little bit of a pain in the backside for me. So generally speaking, I will just use this, or I'll go and get level 94 versions of the monster infrequents, and I'll use the same build to farm the entire finished build. So the whole Belgothian set, maybe even a duplicate weapon, because the set only has one weapon. But maybe I'll use a... what are these things called? A Dermapteran Slicer for the second weapon. I don't know yet. I'll have to throw a build together because, like I said, the only Belgothian builds I could find were either Infiltrators, which this is not, or quite old. And pretty much universally, people are saying that the Infiltrator version is just straight up better, which is, you know, what I expected, but also doesn't help. Where are we? We're over there. Okay. Yeah, so that just doesn't help, which which makes it harder. So I'll come up with something. I'm kind of thinking I might try and lean into the armor side of things. Both of these classes got buffed recently to give huge amounts of armor. Soldier naturally just gets armor buffs, and the Inquisitor has got some pretty good. Sorry, the Nightblade has got some pretty good armor buffs recently. So maybe I will just do something focused on armor, or at least kind of emphasize it rather than avoidance. Might be the way to go. I don't know. I'll have to test it. If anyone has any suggestions, go ahead and throw them in the comments. I'm always happy to hear about that. Okay, some more blueprints. Void Soul, not really interested in. Blues in general, I'm going to throw on the floor unless it's something that I think I might use. That probably won't get used. Blueprints, yes. Festa Blaze. This is one I was looking at before, and from what I can tell, this is basically just a blue version of the. My brain's trying to say Blight Soul, but it's the fire and vitality kind of combination Ravenous Earth set. It's like Blight Lords or something like that. I should also mention the reason I'm out here just killing random stuff. One is so I can waffle without really thinking about it. But two, I am looking to max out my reputations here. So I kill beasts, and that gets me, well, stuff I don't need, actually. So Malmouth Resistance is why I'm here. Ethereal Vanguard. Homestead for beasts. Cults, I guess I should go farm the cult stuff. Barrowhome for killing Chthonians. But generally speaking, I'm just hitting various totems at this point. Something that, once again, 295th Street, shout out again. Something he mentioned is that there is Galacros plating down here, and yes, absolutely. I'm going to see if I can get it to drop, and if it drops some really nice affixes, I might even wear it. It does come, well, one of the two comes with +3 to Cadence, which, I mean, that would get me to 26 on Cadence. But it is also a drop in armor, so I don't love that. But let's just go have a look. So you got to blow the wall up here to get to Galacros, and this is one of the heroes that's kind of hidden behind a wall because he's a little bit scary. Not that scary, but, you know, a little bit. So we'll go in here. That's a bunch of ethereals. And Big Stompy Boy going to be on the other side, kind of to the southeast. Definitely thinking I might want some level 94 weapons here. But hey, all of this stuff is reputation, and since I am effectively just fighting stuff for reputation at this point, it's definitely worth doing. And the other good thing about this build is I can just hold left click and it just mows through stuff. Occasionally I'll push right click, maybe yell at things occasionally as well. There we go, and that's kind of it. Alright, down he goes. So Impervious of Fallen Skies. I mean, Fallen Skies is not great. That may even be the wrong one, but let's have a look, shall we? +3 to Cadence. Got silly, honestly, amounts of resistances on that. Vitality to Aether Conversion, I just don't care about that, so that's fine. And the proc on that is also kind of fine. Now, 28% Chaos Resistance, I can swap that out without worrying too much. Level 92, so we've got a level 92 affix on this. This is a level 84 base. So the armor would be higher otherwise. Okay, so also should have definitely checked this before I came in here. Blessed indeed, +2 to max resistances is really good. Okay, so I've done that. I've done Gloomwald, I've done Malmouth. Actually, I haven't. There's still one more totem here. The city of Malmouth has exactly 2 totems. There's one in the Candle District and one up here in Crown Hill. And that's it. There is technically some on the outside. There's some some Chthonian totems. What do they call them? Void touched. There's some void touched totems outside. But stairs, man, how do they work? They're like magnets. Yeah, there is technically some void touch totems outside, but they might actually be worth doing. I do need to get reputation with Barrowhome, and that would be one way of doing it. Generally speaking, though, I do that sort of reputation grind in the Bloodgrove. It's just easier there, I found. Definitely doesn't mean it's the only place you can do it, but there's more totems there. Alright, Clairvoyant Mantle, 2 blueprints. So we're going to be bashing the blueprints out pretty quickly. Generally speaking, blue items are not things that you use. And this I'm keeping because it is a set item, and because I may end up farming, I guess, the Celestial Lotus to flip those. I was kind of hoping that the totem would be there. It doesn't look like it is. No, it's definitely not. I'm going to check one more just over to the left here, and then I'm abandoning it because running long distances for totems when there are others that spawn quite close is not a good idea. I will, of course, kill Caladrak. And also, I saw a star back here, so I guess I should go back and kill him as well. Killing ethereals is also never a bad idea. Definitely noting a lack of totems showing up on the map here. Yeah, we'll go there. It is ancient, so it's probably worth a little bit of a run. Maybe. Other builds that I'm thinking of. The Deceiver, I was considering doing Lightning Doombolt. I've had several requests from people lately for Doombolt related builds. So I definitely could do that. And I haven't done a caster. Actually, when was the last caster? Technically, I'm playing a channeler now, which is a caster. I'm not going to die while I do this, am I? No, good. So if I go to playlists, we have had Aether Apostate now, this Blademaster. Okay, we just had a Ritualist, which is a caster. And then before that was Pets, and before that was a caster into a Shield Chucker. So all right, there's been a few casters. There's been a few. But yeah, I was thinking about that for a possibility. Is this reflecting? I've got a lot of debuffs on me. I think I'm getting reflected. Definitely should craft some of those Titan platings, actually. I'll craft a Titan plating for my chest at the very least. Alright, so that was the quote-unquote hard totem. And I don't want any of that gear. Let's go see what it'll take to craft a Titan plate for the chest. Yeah, so I was looking at casters and pistol builds. I could maybe look into Primal Strike as probably a Vindicator. Would also be okay. There's no 6 in the word Titan. Alright, so 4 imbued silvers. Yeah, we can make that. Where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 Titan plate. There we go. Do I need an augment for this? I do not. Lovely. Alright, let's just keep the item here. Oleron's chains is a lot of offensive ability. If you just look at the offensive ability, 2,250. That's 200 offensive ability. Granted, not all of that is coming from the component. But there we go, Titan plating. 12% increased armor, 33% reduced reflect damage, and some physique. Not as offensively powerful, but it might save me from reflecting myself to death, which is definitely a good thing. Okay, they may get used. The rest of this stuff definitely won't. I just sold my set item that I was keeping specifically for that. And it'll be fine. I've got... I think I already burned through all of my Celestial Lotus. Alright, what else do I need to do? Let's go do the Ruins of Abid. So this one I'm doing for Witch Cult reputation. It's pretty important when you are farming for reputation that you do just go ahead and kill all of the heroes you find. Just all of them. All the time, forever. So coming in here, we should get a couple of heroes and maybe a totem on the way down, which would be lovely. Also, I don't really have a whole lot to spend my skill points on at this point, so I might do is just dump it into that. What do I get out of this? Yeah, give me more damage. And I'll be honest, I haven't played this character for about a week. So if I did have something that I was putting points into, which, I mean, I probably should be putting them into field command. But I'm going to take that 1 point in damage, and it's just going to be fine. We can play cowboy a little bit, be a little bit loosey-goosey with where the points go at this point. The build is pretty much done. Right, so we have got Mr. Temple Guardian here. I'm going to pull him up here all by himself. I'm going to murder him, and then I'm going to go play with the rest downstairs. Individually, shall we say. And if I can get this guy dead in Ashcore dead before his friend shows up, that'd be great. And there we go, done. So a bunch of reputation with the cults. They're all honored, they're all written? Don't know. Anyway, we can work on those. Totems in this area. Honestly, Eldritch Totems, I don't really do that often. We can go to the Twin Falls one though. This will get us some Rovers rep, which I'm definitely short on Rovers rep. I'm also definitely allergic to priests. Those ones wouldn't have done anything, but anyway, they're all dead now, so that's fun. Alright, where's my totem? It's going to be in the most annoying spot there, isn't it? Let's go this way. Why not? I don't usually come this way. Actually, if I'm being honest, I don't usually farm Twin Falls because of this very reason. It's a pretty long run for a not very impressive totem. So I'm much more likely to go and get the one in the Aether Fields, and just other ones that are closer. Alright, we're officially hated. This is actually good because it means we'll get more heroes and larger packs. Take out the corrupted fella. Get out of the goop. I see there's an arcane in there somewhere. I think I killed him by accident. And we have hit a double rare. Officers of the Flamecaller. +5 to field command. I mean, it is a two-handed gun? Yeah, I think that's a gun. So I'm not going to use it, but it's +5. One weapon. I mean, should realistically be +8 on a two-hander, but anyway, there we are. I'm also going to do a quick run through Cronley's because where is it? Where is it? Cronley's gang. Quite low, so we can just kill these guys. Unfortunately, there are no Cronley's gang totems. So, depending on, and I don't actually remember this, depending on if I left Dureni, if he's alive, Perdition, I swear it's everywhere. If I left Dureni alive, then he could potentially be really good for farming reputation here. And if I didn't, then I'm going to be regretting that in about 30 seconds or so. So we will see. These guys here, all the little ones, they're worth like 1 reputation each. It is worth kind of to kill them. But only kind of. Alright, Dureni, are you home? Yes. Beautiful. Alright. So Durrani is worth... Let's have a look. That's actually not bad. 112 reputation. Okay, cool. So this is going to be a good bit faster than if I only had money bags and Crony and maybe a couple other heroes here. Once again pointing out that all the rare stuff in veteran / normal, it's just it just falls from on high in ultimate. The loot really is better in ultimate. It's not even close. Alright, no heroes so far. I should do that more often. There's only been one hero. There's definitely not another one just around the corner. I really wish there was more heroes. It's a real shame that there isn't. No, it didn't work. It's worth a try, though. Alright, we'll go ahead and kill Crony. Now, he is shielded, so I guess we can run around in circles while we wait for him to spawn the crystal. And then his shield to go away. There it is. And we'll burn through him pretty quickly. Now, I think I am using Crony's rings at the moment, so getting better Crony's rings could be good. Alacrity is pretty nice. So we've got Pierce, Bleeding, and Chaos. Do I need 25% elemental resistance on my rings? No. This is 20... This is no piercing damage. It is offensive ability and attack speed, which is considerably better than defensive ability and less attack speed. I don't care about Phantasmal Blades, so that Wanderer's Crony's Signet of Butchery, that can go in like 3 levels. In like 1 level. Ludrigan's Jacket, I'm just going to leave that on the floor. Alright, we'll go for a run through, what are we talking? Sorrow's Bastion. Through the Blood Grove, basically. So, Sorrow's Bastion, I'm checking for the totem that's here, and I don't think I cleared enough of the fog there, so I'm going to run all the way down there this time. Just make sure, because this is one of the areas where you're going to want to know where the totems spawn. This one is not here, but I'm going to clear the area just so I can see it from a little further away. That helmet might be good. That's +1 to soldiers, from memory. Yep, +1 soldier. Aether of Fire. I mean, it's kind of completely wrong, actually. Alright, so this one right here shares a spawn location with a couple out here. And it's been a while since I farmed this, so I'm looking for one here, I'm looking for one kind of here. And there is 2. There are 2 shrines, or 2 totems, that are going to spawn between 6 different locations. So knowing which ones are where, and which ones can't be where, depending on what you've already seen, is definitely good to know. Alright, so that first one I checked, way down here, and this one share a location with the guy behind the waterfall. So I know it's down there. I'm going to show it this time, and then next time, if I'm still recording, I'm just skipping it. This is a very long run to get down there. There's not much else that's worth hitting once you get down there, and it's only a basic totem. So generally speaking, I don't do this totem. I'm going to go down there though, if only just to clear the map so I can see it from further away next time. So just here, there's a little sticky outy bit on the map there. Run behind the waterfall, and we're in. So we've got some Manticore Alphas here. Potentially you can get Manticore Eyes in here. It's pretty unlikely, but possible. There is also a guaranteed legendary in this area, which I'll go pick it up here in a second, but not hugely fussed about it. Okay, Blood of Chthon is not bad. Seal of Might is actually pretty good just as a generic thing. Altos weapon can stay on the floor. And if we come down here, where is it? It's all the way to the south, isn't it? Yeah, there it is. So I broke it by accident, but there's a statue of a guy with 2 shields, and there's a totally normal bulwark, which is actually a one-handed mace, which is a Deceiver weapon with a Doombolt proc on it. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Anywho. I can never remember which of those weapons lives where. Right, let's just skip the run back. There is one more totem over here. It's going to have locations. This is the mill, so here or here, I think it is, or up here. Now, it can be worth doing this one because the village of Darkvale does have both a dynamite and a totem, or a dynamite and a treasure trove rather. So you've got self-sustaining totems there. Why do I keep saying totems? The treasure troves, the self-sustaining treasure troves. I'm sorry, words are hard. Okay, and it is looking like it's going to be up in the village. So I will run up to the village and just see if it's up there. I mean, at this point, it is up there. I know it's up there. It's the only place it can be. So we may as well run up there. We'll grab the totem. We'll grab the treasure trove. Said the right words this time. Good job, me. And we'll get some loot. The other thing I should probably be doing, and it should probably be a high priority, is getting Malmouth reputation, just so I can get XP pots. I'm not hugely fussed about it, if I'm being honest. I'm going to be farming these things for quite a while. So getting to level 100, you know, in half the time, it's kind of whatever, who cares? Getting to level 100 doesn't get me the gear for the build. Still going to farm that. Alright, so a whole bunch of new friends here. I guess we can kill these. They have potentially got some rare drops. Never know, maybe I'll find a really good Bloodsworn Codex. Okay, you can see the totem is just over there. The dynamite is here. Potentially treasure trove spawn location here. Seal of Binding is very nice, very nice. Just, again, stairs. How do they work? My character doesn't seem to know. Stabatha being renamed to Tripatha. Alright, I'm going to clear the area because this totem can be a little nasty. It's not too bad, but always best to clear the area. Checking for treasure trove over here. Turning the loot off so I can actually see what's going on. Panicking a little bit because we've got big boys on this one. Not really panicking, more like slightly worried. Alright, what do we win? We win a blueprint that we don't have to drop again. Also got a double rare. Merciless of the Winter Storm. This is not as bad as it might seem at first, because Winter Storm technically is cold, but +2 to Night's Chill also works really well for piercing. So that's not a horrible chest. It's not amazing either, so I am leaving it on the floor. Although it would be good for iron bits, but yeah, 3 million is probably fine. Checking just here for the treasure trove, which, I mean, it's obviously not there, you can't see it, so it can't be there. And here it is. So this is the last place it can be. And if I could, yep, just press U, blow it up. How's my dynamite looking? I've got tons of it. Ancient Heart, Wendigo Spirit, and a Blazing Ruby. There we go. Alright, seeing as how we're here, it'd be rude not to. Zarya can go ahead and die. And look, she rewarded me. Eldritch Mirror, pet stuff, but also attack speed for your chest slot is not bad. Go ahead and eat that. You know what? There's 2 more totems that I'm going to do. Then I'm going to reset. First one is here, here, or here. This one's really good because it's quite close and it's Forsaken, although I think one of them is just regular. Anyway, it's very, very close. It's easy to get to. And you will occasionally run into Ragrathar, I think his name is. Is he here? Yeah, here he is. Oh no, Bone Chill. There he is, Ragrathar Rageblood. You will occasionally run into him. think I want to kill the cold guy first. I'm very glad that the Goblin Shaman there didn't get the heal off. Festa Blaze, that would be 2 pieces of that set now. Yeah, we've got the Corrupted Wendigo. Take care of him just to get out of that. I am being reflected again, but it's not anywhere near as dangerous as it was last time, which is nice. Alright, lots of blues here. Bloodied Crystal is amazing. Okay, I'm going to go and create 2 of those immediately. Assuming I don't need 20% Vitality. I do. That's unfortunate. That doesn't have Vitality resist on either. Okay, that's not great, because Bloodied Crystals is more armor, and I like armor. Okay, that's fine. Anyway, 1 more totem up here. Tomb of the Watchers. And when I get in here, I just want to take, like, a step. I'm looking to see the totem. Is it over here? I can't see it, so it's probably up here or up here. Let's go for a run. For whatever reason, if you just stand on the rift gate and don't move, it doesn't load stuff, so I do like to take a little step. Here it is. It again didn't clear the fog of war. Alright, easy. This was actually a really good totem. It is Forsaken, yep. And we've dropped the Pummeler. A one-handed mace for physical force wave by the looks of it. Or a dot force wave, actually. And the quick draw gloves. I don't want any of that, so that's fine. It can all stay on the ground. You know what? That can go on the ground as well. So can that. Right. Let's do that again. I'm going to start with Gloomwald because, well, that's what I prefer to do. Let's get the boys out as well. This is definitely my preferred farming route, and the things you've seen me do up to this point, I generally speaking just loop that. Gloomwald, in my opinion, is either the best place to farm if you don't need reputation and you don't want to do Shattered Realm, or you can't do a deep enough level for it to matter yet. The only other one that comes close is the Bloodgrove. And if you have Nemesis with the Chthonians, you could argue the Bloodgrove is maybe a little better, maybe kind of on par. Maybe I'm killing myself with Reflect. We just won't talk about that. And we'll pretend that I didn't see Prismatic Diamond and the Ghoul. What I should be doing right now is not continuing on until the Prismatic Diamond cooldown is up. Having said that, the Ghoul is, what, 30 seconds cooldown? I'm curious now. The Ghoul is, yeah, 30-second cooldown. So that'll be fine. Worst case scenario, I kill another Nightblade. I think that would be 4 Nightblades now. I definitely go through Nightblades. I swear it's not my fault. This might be actually the first character I kill with Reflect damage. I think it should be fine, but the only time I've seen my health bar really move has been to Reflect damage. Alright, no treasure trove over there. No totem over here. Definitely don't need to be killing all that stuff. Avarice is here, lovely. Can I kill her? Yes, beautiful. Tainted Blade of Naraval. Poison damage, dagger. Bloody Pox, okay. Poison and bleeding, dual damage item. Not great. Probably not horrible either, but definitely not great. This is one of the places where getting to use the use button, the U button that I have bound to, can be quite useful. If you're getting swarmed by all these guys and you're just not interested, I really just want to pop the chest kind of thing. Standing next to it and pressing U can definitely be good. Alright, so we got one hero. We got two hero. That's the quest one. Do I hear 3, 4, 5? No. No, I do not. Okay. That is unfortunate. Fiend's Resolve. Offhand. Poison Chaos? Mostly Chaos by the looks of it. Anyway. Not for this character. Okay, blow this open. Manticore Eye, very nice, very nice. Manticore Eyes are quite rare. Most of the Manticores in the game are blind. You can definitely add Mogara to your farming list if you wish. And also, what's the guy in front of the Ancient Grove Skeleton key door? Another Manticore boss. You can definitely add that one to your farming list as well. Phantom Thread Girdle. Why is that ringing bells for me? I think maybe I use that on the Spellbreaker. Right. I don't think I've done the totem yet, which means it's going to be up there. Usually I would skip this, actually. But I'm already halfway there. I definitely should have skipped it. I should be in Malmouth already. There's also that totem down here as well. I'm going to do this one. I've already killed Avarice, so I know that she ain't here. No, give me the corrupted one. There we go. Alright, everybody else stand in the corrupted stuff. Okay, we've got one purple, which is very nice. Regenerator, diseased. Okay, cool. Oh, I forgot about him. Oh, well, I guess we're doing this now. I had actually completely forgotten that Chupacabra was a thing. Alright, we're going to take him out. I think I don't even really need to move. Keep an eye on the health bar. Yeah, maybe I'll move. And I definitely want to move as soon as he dies. Alright, so surprise Chupacabra from out of nowhere, from behind a wall or something. He does that a lot, actually. Alright, let's see the goodies. We have Darkblaze Source, okay. Widow's Sting. Winter Fox. I mean, it is kind of saying make that Pyromancer, isn't it? And I don't think I want any of this other stuff. Enchanted Earth is pretty good as a sort of I don't need anything else kind of component. Which could be quite good. And did I hear a double rare? I did. Glacial of Fury on a two-handed gun that's not a monster infrequent. That's kind of bad. Anything else here? Not really. Darkblaze Source. I'm going to hang on to that one. A 1x1 set item. Definitely worth keeping. Alright, Gloomwald's done. Let's head up here. And poke our heads out this way. So this particular totem that I've got twice now is not the one that I want. There's a regular ethereal totem that spawns there, which is okay, because it's easy to get to. It's not particularly amazing, but it is easy to get to, which makes it alright. And then you've got this one up here, which is the ancient ethereal totem right here, which is really good because it's only just a little bit harder to get to than the regular one, and it's way better. And then you've got this one, which is a little bit out of your way, kind of semi-annoying to get to, and it's only Forsaken. So I don't love that. Not that anybody bothered to ask if I wanted it there or not. Alright, Mr. Unstoppable has been stopped. This was a really weak totem. Reaver's Claw is piercing damage. Cool, that might be worth using. It's got a bonus to... what is this called? Ring of Steel and Cadence, actually, so it's... I mean, +1 Soldier, +1 Inquisitor. Even the items say that Infiltrator is better. Having said that, that is definitely better than what I'm wearing. +1 to all skills in a mastery that I have is pretty good, so I will probably put that on. And I'm sorry for all the shit talking I did about that totem. I take it all back. Best totem ever. Up here? Nope, it's going to be over here. Yeah, I mean, that definitely does happen as well. You can just be cruising around doing like a basic totem or a Forsaken one in this case, and then out of nowhere, surprise, there's the item I needed. So it's always fun when that happens. Alright, since I'm in the area, I may as well kill Valexteria. Being a boss rather than a hero, and yes, there is a difference, she gives double reputation. Is it double, or is it... It's more. She gives more reputation. So if you got the skull above your head, you get 112 reputation. If you've just got a star, it's like 54 or something. Alright, let's pop this like it's hot, and we got, what, 3 heroes? I don't love that. That's a very small number. 3 is a very small number. We need to pump those numbers up. Seal of Resonance is pretty good. Stormrend is okay. I do have a character that uses this. Allows you to use dual wield or one-handed shield with Primal Strike. So that could be fun, question mark? I can't remember the rolls on this. I do remember it doesn't have attack speed, which, I mean, I'm kind of cheating. I'm staring at it. I'll pick that up. Let's have a look. And these potentially are quite good as well. Yeah, it's fine. Whatever. Okay, that's my Malmouth stuff done. How is my reputation here? Maybe we go kill the council. Just walk in there and kill them. It's going to be 3 bosses, I think. At least 1 boss. For, is it Draven Cole or whatever his name is? And we've got... Oh, he's reflecting. Oh, no. Yeah, not so bad with the Titan plating anymore. There's a level. 1 point here gives me OADA armor. I'll just take damage. It's the better choice. It's not the responsible choice. Both choices were actually fine. Offensive and defensive ability are no. They're both kind of good at this point. 24, 22. I saw 26 there, so there's got to be some buffs that aren't active all the time. 25, 24. Yeah, I'm getting some OA from something. It's probably going to be Fighting Spirit and... Fighting Spirit? I don't know what the other ones would be. There's at least a couple, though. That's fine. We'll just blend our way through all this rubbish. And all this stuff is worth reputation. 1 or 2, I think, each. Alright, 3 actual heroes here. You'll love to see it. So I'm going to get 300 and... what's that, 36 or something? Reputation with the Malthusians? No, that's the wrong word. The Malmouth Resistance, there we go. Seal of Annihilation. Love to see that. Okay. I want to make some new components. I don't know if I'm going to be able to use them because of resistances. There we go. So 336 with the Malmouth Resistance. Let's see if we can make... actually, we're already right next to a blacksmith. See what happens to my resistances if I swap this out. So that's going to be elemental, which will be fine, and bleeding, which will not be fine. Do I want that anyway? Attack speed, I definitely, yes. Yes, I want it. Give it to me. What do I need for it? Seal of Annihilation, I need 4 Black Tallows, which means I need Rift times 12. And then 4 Black Tallows and Annihilation. Okay. I also then am going to need a new Nightsteel polish, which you are going to sell. Nightsteel polish, 10 piercing. That's going to be better, but I don't have the reputation for it. That's fine. It also may have been for weapons. Okay, keep the item. Yes, I'm sure. I don't need this for Chaos Res, do I? 50% over maximum. So I can go get a Mogara's Fangs that happens to have some bleeding resist on it. Or I could put the poison and bleeding resistance augment on here as well. I mean, or I could go to Grim Tools and check where the bleeding resistance augment comes from. Find out that it's Barrowhome, because I'm pretty sure it is. Here we go. There's going to be 2, one from the Coven, 10% per slot, and I've got at least one. Okay, cool. Off to the Coven. So I didn't even have to break my resistances to get that. What about Vitality? Okay, Malmouth Woundseer Powder. That's the one I want. I can't use it yet because I don't have Revered.
I'll give you a good price on what I've got left. Come see what's left of my wares.
Coven Black Ash? No, I want Bloody Ash. There we go.
Put it to good use.
That one on... Is it gloves? Yes. Okay, resistance is kept, and I think once I get Malmouth done, which honestly is going to be like 5 or 6 runs of the council, so I think I'm going to do that. I do think I'm going to do that off screen though. This episode's getting a little bit long, so I'm going to end it here. Thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and goodbye for now.